In this video, we'll be taking a look at Lost Ark's character creation in terms of the overview for each of the classes and its corresponding advanced classes, customizations you can choose from, and much more. Lost Ark will be released in just a few days in North America and the European regions. Before we head into the actual character creation section of the game, let's first discuss the other features available to you before creating your characters. These include character slots, Powerpass, Reskin, and Change Name. To use any of them, you need to purchase their respective tickets with royal crystals, which are the only in-game currency bought with real money. However, the actual costs may change when the game launches, since its business model is still undergoing testing. By default, Lost Ark provides you with 6 character slots per account, where your main character is the first one you create, together with 5 alternates to try out more classes. If you're the type of player who intends to compete with others by quickly leveling up your main character while acquiring powerful gear, then you should certainly make alternate characters. This enables you to frequently finish daily and weekly quests, including abyssal raids and dungeons, as well as Eponas, resulting in acquiring more gold and materials to upgrade your equipment. If 6 slots aren't enough for you, you can purchase the character slot extension ticket, which costs you around 900 royal crystals each for the characters you intend to make later on. Additionally, and above your main character's portrait, you can see your roster level, which shows the overall progress of your account as a result of the experience points gained by all of your characters. At Lost Ark's launch, you'll gain access to the Vern Powerpass that your alt characters can use to reach max level and to acquire regular gear as well as quests commensurate to their level. For example, all Vern and Shoeshire related quests will have been completed, and you'll be able to participate in abyssal dungeons. Note that you have to spend 1100 royal crystals to buy the Vern Pass. The last 2 features are Reskin and Change Name if you wish to change how your characters look as well as their respective names. Doing so will cost you around 900 royal crystals for the appearance customization ticket and 1800 royal crystals for the name change ticket respectively. Lost Ark's character creation is different from some MMORPGs in that you'll be selecting a class with predefined basic stats right from the beginning. As such, you won't get to manually allocate points into attributes or skills. Let's first talk about these 5 stats. The 5 available basic stats refer to your character's aggregate traits or attributes that impact your playstyle, such as attack power, dexterity, defense, support, and area of effect. Attack power pertains to the overall damage you inflict based on your attribute, may it be strength, intelligence, or agility in addition to your weapon power, whereas dexterity refers to how quickly your character can be. The classes that have the highest attack power and dexterity are martial artists, gunners, and assassins. Next is defense, which pertains to the amount of physical and magical damage you can take, the HP they start with, and the resistance to critical damage. Classes that hold their ground while effectively absorbing damage are warriors and martial artists. Finally, we have support and AoE radius. A higher support spread allows you to protect the party from harm while restoring their HP and removing debuffs. Meanwhile, AoE radius refers to the range or reach of your skills. The classes with the best support and AoE radius spreads are warriors and mages. These stats are improved by equipping better quality gear in the form of weapons, armor, and accessories. For instance, Demon Killer's Greatsword boosts weapon power, which enhances your Berserker's damage. Lost Ark features 5 classes and 15 advanced classes, but not all of them have male and female counterparts except for the martial artists and gunners. To address this, Smilegate RPG and Amazon Games confirmed that players can expect more counterparts for gender-locked classes to be released in the future, but we don't have the exact dates just yet. Right after selecting your class, you'll talk to Beatrice to further specialize in a subclass or advanced class at level 10. Out of the 15 advanced classes that were available in the closed beta, the Summoner won't be making it at launch. It was instead swapped for the Sorceress, which was the newest class released in August 2021 for the Korean version of Lost Ark. Without further ado, let's go through these classes and advanced classes one by one. Also, stay tuned for another video in the next few days, where we discuss each of these classes in greater detail. Warriors are tank-oriented in the sense that they can absorb and resist damage, allowing them to survive longer in combat. Although they're not the most nimble of classes, they make up for it with heavy, direct, and powerful melee attacks. The 3 advanced classes of warriors are the Berserker, Paladin, and Gunlancer. Berserkers wield great swords to deal massive AoE damage from a safer distance. They can activate Fury to boost their strength and therefore damage as well as movement speed. Although they're straightforward to learn, making them beginner-friendly, Berserkers tend to be problematic in fast-paced encounters since they sacrifice defense for offense and their skills' cooldown rates are quite slow. But if you still wish to play as one of the most offensive-oriented warriors, then the Berserker is the advanced class for you. Gunlancers make use of gun lances and shields to defend themselves well. Because they can absorb greater amounts of damage thanks to their higher HP, armor rating, and impeccable defensive skills while taunting and interrupting enemies, they're considered very tanky. However, their mobility is relatively slower compared to others. If you intend to play as a frontliner while holding your ground with ease, then the Gunlancer is the subclass you're looking for. Paladins wield a blessed sword in one hand and a holy book in the other to not only inflict damage but also support their allies, making them the most balanced warrior subclass. Additionally, they have numerous skills meant to heal and to provide damage buffs to their party. but they're not as straightforward to play compared to the Berserker and Gunlancer because of the need to gain a thorough understanding of the environment while mastering their abilities. Should you want to play the best of both worlds by dealing massive damage while supporting your team, then the Paladin would be the best advanced class for you. Mages are capable of supporting allies by healing and buffing them, as well as dealing devastating damage from a distance thanks to the spells they cast. Compared to the others, however, they're the most fragile class in Lost Ark. The two advanced classes of mage are Bard and Sorceress. Bards have their trusty harp, enabling them to play magical tunes to heal, buff, and shield their allies. Although with respect to the Paladin, they're more geared towards fully supporting the party, while weakening enemies rather than inflicting massive damage. Similar to the Paladin, they require practice to master the right timing when it comes to casting support spells. The Bard is a great class to play if you wish to fully aid your teammates in combat. Sorceresses wield a staff which lets them deal destructive ranged damage in the form of 3 elements, namely fire, ice, and lightning. What makes their skills deadlier is the fact that they mostly inflict AoE damage, crushing most of their enemies in one skill. Despite the Sorceress's impeccable damage dealing capabilities, they can get caught in the middle of combat, which may deem punishing. If you want to play as the classic mage who casts familiar and lethal ranged spells, then the Sorceress is the best advanced class for you. Martial Artists are the ultimate brawler class that utilizes explosive combos and nimble movement and attack speeds to debilitate and annihilate enemies. However, most of their skills only deal damage against single targets rather than groups. Martial Artists have 4 advanced classes. The female martial artists are the War Dancer, Scrapper, and Soulfist, while the Striker is the only male martial artist so far. War Dancers utilize light gauntlets to deliver swift punch and kick combos and are considered as one of the fastest classes in Lost Ark, similar to Strikers. What makes them stand out is their ability to store energy in the form of key orbs. Once filled up, they'll be able to cast their highly destructive ultimates. However, War Dancers have a higher skill ceiling due to slower cooldown rates coupled with a quick response time to play effectively. If you thrive on fast-paced combat and you're adept at dodging enemies well, then the War Dancer should be the advanced class for you. Scrappers rely on heavy gauntlets to alternately use multiple skills to efficiently deal massive damage. Doing so allows them to balance energy resources. Even if they're not as mobile as War Dancers, they can defeat enemies quickly due to how high their damage is. Scrappers are considered one of the best classes to play as a beginner since you simply have to manage and activate their skills in a certain order to get the hang of this melee DPS class. As opposed to the rest of the martial artists, Soulfists can deal explosive damage up close or from a distance. They're considered the jack of all trades because of the volume of skills they have at their disposal, but a master of none for the very same reason. As such, this is a difficult subclass to pilot, requiring you to thoroughly understand every skill. But if you're up for the challenge of playing and testing all of their abilities to create numerous builds, then the Soulfist is perfect for you. Strikers wield elemental gauntlets to execute powerful aerial combos together with fast kicks and punches. They can store massive amounts of energy, which will then be unleashed to inflict huge damage across the field. Strikers have several skills that require performing back attacks, which are tough to constantly target. However, if you master these, you'll be able to effectively knock down and kill your enemies. Strikers are suitable for those who prefer and enjoy high-speed combat while using rapid and deadly combos. Gunners are comprised of range damage dealers who wield technologically advanced weaponry to deal precise damage from a distance. Aiming from afar can be problematic at times, but when perfected, you're able to stay away from danger while eliminating enemies. Gunners have 4 advanced classes. The male gunners are the Sharpshooter, Deadeye, and Artillerist, whereas the Gunslinger is the only female gunner available in the game. Sharpshooters make use of mechanical bows, letting them hit enemies from farther distances. Similar to the classic Ranger, they're accompanied by a pet like the Silver Hawk, who aids them in encounters. However, it's important to maintain a safe distance between them and their target to avoid incoming attacks. The Sharpshooter is a good beginner class for those who prefer using straightforward ranged skills. Since the Deadeye and Gunslinger essentially wield the same weapon set of weapons, even if their weapon focus is different, I'll be talking about them side by side. Both advanced classes have access to the sniper rifle, shotgun, and double pistols, allowing them to inflict damage at melee or ranged distances. Deadeyes are highly proficient in wielding shotguns, so they need to move up close and personal to deal double the damage at this range, making them more vulnerable to attack. Comparatively, Gunslingers excel at using the sniper rifle to be able to shoot enemies from a very far distance. They can also easily switch to equipping the shotgun or double pistols depending on the situation. If you have decent aim and you don't mind the high difficulty curve of learning the weapon swap mechanics to manage all 3 weapons, then the Deadeye or Gunslinger should be right for you. Artillerists utilize a heavy machine gun to pulverize their enemies to the ground, as it has the ability to transform into a flamethrower or rocket launcher. Among the gunner advanced classes, the Artillerists are the tankiest of them all, but due to the huge weight and size of their main weapon, they are also less mobile. Because of this, enemies can evade the skill's AoE before it even fully activates. Artillerists are a good class for those who are able to develop their game sense to determine the optimal time to use their short and mid-range skills. Assassins are manipulators of demonic powers to execute rapid and roguelike attacks. Even if they're not the most agile class, they still have the capabilities to efficiently destroy their enemies. The two advanced classes of assassins are the Deathblade and Shadowhunter. Deathblades utilize the power of the three swords to perform lethal combo attacks at melee range in order to overwhelm their enemies. However, the challenge lies in staying alive by dodging incoming attacks since they have low defenses and low HP. If you're searching for a fast-paced class that's able to carry out an impressive selection of melee combos while inflicting crowd control techniques, then the Deathblade is perfect for you. Shadowhunters, on the other hand, have the ability to shapeshift into demons to utilize dark and chaotic damage, giving these monsters a taste of their own medicine. This, coupled with their dual blades, makes Shadowhunters formidable and worthy opponents on the battlefield, may it be from melee or ranged distances. Because of their aggressive nature and uncomplicated playstyle, Shadowhunters are one of the best classes to start your journey in Lost Ark. In Lost Ark, you won't be able to change your class or advanced class, so the moment you choose, you'll be stuck with it unless you create another character, of course. Comparatively, skills work differently in that they can easily be respec. It's a great feature in the game since you don't need to spend anything to do so. Simply go to your skill menu, lessen the point allocation of a specific skill, and then click Save. What's more is you're able to save multiple skill presets so you can easily switch to them if you're about to participate in PvP activities, for example. Going back to character creation, after selecting your class, you can either view your class's story or customize the physical appearance of your character. On the right-hand side of your screen, you'll be able to pick from a series of pre-made looks if you want to jump into the game as soon as possible, or to change your face, hair, eyes, skin, special for makeup, tattoos, and voice. Under each of these tabs, you'll be able to specifically tweak the features you prefer. For example, under face, you can tweak your character's eye width, position, and shape. There are a ton of options to choose from to make your character as unique as possible, so be sure to explore all of them. Furthermore, on the left-hand side of your screen, you can choose from several display outfits to see how well your character looks when donning these armor sets later on upon acquiring enhanced gear. There are also special animations or emote actions performed by your character. The more emote actions you unlock, the better, as it improves your rapport with NPCs to gain access to more quests and additional rewards. And finally, distinct locations give you an idea of how good or bad your character will appear in certain backgrounds. You can then save the current customization setting you have, should you wish to reload it for another character under the same class. That wraps up our Lost Ark Character Creation Guide. Stay tuned for more guides and be sure to check out our Lost Ark Wiki or visit our Twitch channel if you have questions about the game. What are your thoughts about character creation? What classes are you thinking of creating first? Let us know in the comments below.